Well, hi everybody, this is Daniel with IMetAWrestler.com, and I'm joined today by a very special lady. And if you've been watching wrestling for a long time like I have, you'll remember back in the early 90s that Ric Flair, there was a period of time when he had a very beautiful lady at his side at all times, and it was the one and only FiFi The Maid. FiFi, how you doing tonight?
Hi, doing great.
Wonderful. You know, I'm glad I was actually able to pin you down. I've, we're Facebook friends. I follow your Facebook page at FiFi from Wrestling, and you've actually been very busy lately. I saw that you've had a trip to the Barrier Islands, and there was a skeleton that was jumping around the neighborhoods this Halloween as well. I've got a feeling that was you.
Yeah. Nobody had a clue. This was the best costume ever because. I've gone out in the FiFi costume many a times, and I wanted to have something where no one would recognize me. So I was a total skeleton from head to toe, and it was perfect.
You were under the mask. You were anonymous this time.
Right. This time, I thought I'd go out, and I'm thinking actually maybe I'll wear it to the ring next time I'm out there. I think it'd be good. And then I rip it off, and underneath it will be the FiFi costume.
It'll be FiFi. There we go. Well, it actually doesn't sound like it's been that much of a stretch from you because, I don't watch a lot of TV, but my girlfriend was hooked on big show that started last year in AMC, The Walking Dead, the whole big zombie apocalypse thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out recently you were actually one of the zombies on that show.
Yeah. I was on the first episode. I played a zombie, and I wanted to get that experience because I know a lot of people over there on set and in the makeup and production, and they asked me, "Do you want to be a zombie?" And I'm like, "Sure, I want to go through all this." And after going through it, oh my God, I had so much respect for those zombies. Oh. It is so much work.
Wow.
Lots of makeup. I mean, the transformation's incredible.
Yeah.
But the long hours in the heat and, just all that makeup and, the clothing and everything, it's just, draining. And you feel like a zombie by the end of the day.
Oh, I can imagine. How long did they have you in that makeup chair for? Because I believe it's hours,
A couple hours. Wow. Yeah, a couple hours. And then they have to take it off. They don't want to leave the set with that makeup on. So you have to go back, and it's not like you can just, okay, I'm ready, I'm getting out of here. No, go back to, makeup, get that makeup off, and, it just takes forever. But it is so well worth it. I mean, it was so much, it really was fun. But I do have a lot of respect, because when they use the zombies, they really work hard. They have a lot, and that show, the zombies make it. Yeah. So kudos to them, and they're doing a great job.
That's wonderful. And is it true? Did I read it right that is one of the stuntmen on there as well?
Yeah, you might have read that somewhere, Daniel.
I've done my research. Listen to that. I have some little buddies of mine that are working last season and this season. So, yeah, they're out there doing some double stuff, and it's been great. Yeah, that show has been wonderful to me and my crew, so it's been good. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. Well, it's being a zombie in the whole and dead thing, it's definitely a world away from we go back to 1993 when FiFi was around, and what were those days like being because it was kind of an interesting time to be a female performer in the business. It's like we'd moved away from when they were just they didn't have to have those supermodel looks or the cover girl face. No disrespect, but they were much more like tougher athletes back then, Gladys Gillum and the Fabulous Moolah and those kind of ladies. And now we're into where it's the full-blown diva and that kind of thing. So the early 90s were kind of the transition. I remember there was Miss Elizabeth, and you guys were pretty rare back then. What were those experiences like at the time?
Yeah, that was, back then, first of all, there are more women in it today than there ever were. So it seemed like we were, few and far from, because when I was on the WCW for that one full year, it was pretty much like Missy Hyatt and I.
Right.
And then everyone started, Elizabeth came back, and some others, but it was like not many women around, and so it's kind of hard traveling. It was like me and the boys, or Missy would show up, and still it was like me and the boys, because Missy was like in her own world, doing her.
Yeah.
But it was definitely, it was a fun time. They treated us very well, but I guess because we were so limited. us women. They were good to us and trying to take care of us on the road, because the fans, sometimes the fans would, I remember Rick saying one time, we got a problem here. All the fans are wanting to see FiFi and not me, as a joke. But, it's like, we got a problem when that happens,
Yeah.
But, it was good.
It takes a rare person to overshadow Ric Flair, that's for sure.
Yeah, there was some talk like that during the show, just because, wrestling is male. There's a lot of fans that are guys. And so then you throw a girl into the picture, and it's like, oh, wow, something different. That's all it was,
That's true. That's true. How did the fans treat you back in those days? Was it pretty positive? Did you get any, lewd kind of comments from the, when the beer starts flowing and that kind of thing? Or was it pretty respectful with the crowds?
I think the crowds are really respectful, and I always wanted to stick around and hang out and talk to people and take pictures with their babies and, all the little kids that came around. I would wait outside, and I never would leave. But it's like, come on, we gotta go. And I'm like, oh, wait, let me just, take a few more and talk to these people. And and Rick was always good when we were around, but it was like, I just wanted to stick around longer, I think. But, so I enjoyed them. I mean, there was a few little weird things where, like, this one fan, he would come around with this big, huge box, and I remember he'd put it down and he had it categorized with everybody's name, and it'd be like, FiFi, let me show you what I have here. I'm like, oh yeah, and he'd have like photos of, I don't know if he was roaming around and just snapping photos wherever we were at, hotels and everything, and he'd have the weirdest photos, and I'd go, oh my God, where were you, behind bushes? Yeah, so that was a little scary, and I'd be like, oh my God, there's a photo of, me dancing with, Buffer, Michael Buffer,
God.
and, or like dancing with Rick, and he'd be like, whoa, that's weird. How is he, people snapping away, but he kind of like would follow out where we would hang out, and then just snap away and then have these filed away.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I think you just answered two of my future questions in one. I was going to ask you the most bizarre fan experience and one of the weirdest fans that you met, and I think we just got two birds with one stone right there.
That was it. And yeah, he is literally, and I can specifically remember this time thinking, I can't believe this guy had all these photos, and he had this huge box, and he sat it down on a table. He said, let me show you what I got on you. And I'm like, really? What do you have there? And I was looking, I'm like, oh my God, these are like he could have been a PI, sending me out and getting photos in different cities and stuff. And I thought, this is weird.
Wow.
So I'd always start looking over my shoulder going, I wonder if he's around somewhere.
I know.
But I've never seen those photos again, So that's I've always thought at a convention or something he would show up with them, but nope, not yet.
No, he hasn't appeared yet, no. And it's funny, actually, that you mentioned the conventions, because that was the main reason that I reached out to you and requested an interview, because I've personally seen you at two, and it was at the NWA FanFest with Greg Price. Last year we were in Charlotte, and then just a couple of months ago we're all in Atlanta. And yeah, and you always stood out to me on both those conventions. Last year was the first time I ever saw you, but just real fan friendly, really approachable, and you always look like you're having such a great time at those shows.
Oh, I am. Because for me it's like a reunion. I mean, I've been gone for so long, and seeing these people again, I'm like, oh my God, it's been almost 20 years. I don't know. Wow. It's been a long time, and so I'm running around like a kid in high school.
Yeah.
And seeing all the fans and the people out there, and I just want to say hi to everybody. I just want to and see what people think. And once again, like, we do get things where a fan came up to me at the one in Atlanta, and he had a Japanese magazine, and it had these pictures of Rick and I that I've never seen before, and I love that. I'm like, oh my God, I thought I'd seen it all, and then boom, some new photos.
Oh,
so that's always exciting.
That's wonderful. I talked to I had the Hall of Heroes dinner they did that night. I was sat with Bill Eadie, and he said the funniest thing about those conventions is the fans remember more about the wrestlers' careers than the wrestlers do, and they have, as you just said, they have all these rare photos and merchandise they'd never seen before, and so that happens quite a lot.
Oh, yeah. And I'm like, wait, I want a copy. Wait, I want this. Wait, where'd you get that? I'm like, yeah, they have more stuff than we have, And that is, that's interesting. But it's great to see them all. And And I'm telling you, a lot of times it cracks me up because a lot of these people or the other wrestlers that are younger than I, they'll say, oh my God, I remember watching you. I was about, I don't know, 10, and I had a crush on you. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm not that old.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh no, I'm feeling really good until someone tells me that.
Oh no. Well, that leads to another good question. I need to ask one of FiFi's big secrets now, and that is, guys talk, obviously, and we're in the bar at these shows, or we're walking around the hall, and, guys being guys, we're checking you out, and people are always commenting on how you haven't aged. I mean, you look exactly the same, if not better, than you did back in the old WCW days. Now, what's the secret there? What's going on?
I get so a lot. You know what? That's weird because I get people will come up to me and say, "You look better now than then," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to take that as a compliment." But but I swear it's genetics. I've been very blessed, and I do a lot of yoga and anything to relax the mind, which also makes you feel younger. If you feel younger, you look younger, and I don't know. I've been very blessed. I'm very lucky. I've never done any plastic surgery, which I think is a prerequisite nowadays to be in there. But
unfortunately, yeah.
I've been very, I was very lucky and good living, and so very lucky.
It's definitely paid off, and it's funny that you mentioned yoga as well, because the company I work for, we have a yoga lady that comes in a couple of times a week, and she gives lessons, and I'd never done it before, and I was on my way to the gym. I work out with weights and that kind of thing, and this yoga class was going to take place. So I said, that'd be a good warm up. That'll kind of stretch me out a little before I go and lift. 60 minutes later, I couldn't move. Like we did like that vinyasa yoga where you use your own body weight and you're. It's tough. It really is hard. You think of like old ladies and crossing their legs, but you have to be in. No wonder you're in tremendous shape. I mean, that's a really tough workout.
Absolutely. I mean, people don't realize that they think, they're just stretching or breathing or whatever, but it is intense. And by the end, it is, you feel, rejuvenated and alive and full of energy, and it's great. So you do get sore. It's something, it's wonderful. It works every muscle in your body.
It does. I definitely agree with you. Yeah. Well, another little rumor that I heard, you can tell me if this one's right or wrong. I heard that when FiFi disappeared in WCW, she had a full year there with Ric, and then she kind of, she left the company, that FiFi did some high school teaching. Is that true?
Yes. I taught at a private high school.
Yeah.
And I did that for about, a couple years, and it was, some of the kids recognized me, and I'd say it wasn't me. No, it's not me, but some of the wrestlers would rat me out. And, because they lived around wrestlers, and they're like, I think this is my teacher. I think she's FiFi. And they would, show them a picture, and next thing you know, they'd rat me out.
Oh, my God.
But it was good. I enjoyed it. I love to be around kids. I do a lot of charity with kids, and I just love it. So it was a great experience for me, and I'd go back to it down the road. Right now I'm kind of enjoying doing some other things, like hobbies, like with the TVs and the movies and wrestling stuff. I'm going to be at Wrestle Reunion in LA in January.
Fantastic. I'm going to be there too. I'm looking forward to seeing you again.
Yay, that'll be fun.
It'll be real nice. And that's always a good show. I think there's a lot of good names going to be at this one, like Mick Foley and Kevin Von Erich and that.
Right.
Mick,
Vader will be there. And so, like, once again, for me, I'm so excited because this is like a reunion, because I haven't seen these people forever, Mick and Vader and all this. So I'm like, yay, I'm going to go say hi, and we'll reminisce about the old days. So it'll be fun.
That's right. And you were actually with Ric when the whole feud with Vader was taking place, right?
Yes, I was. And we did a lot of stuff with him. And, so it's going to be wonderful to talk and catch up on things. And that's where the good interviews would be. They put a mic right there and we talk about the old days,
Oh, yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah, that's so cool. And again, it's like I said before, it's always fun to kind of watch you at the conventions as well, because even though obviously you're there as a featured guest and as a former the wrestling talent in the business, like you're also a big fan, just like the rest of us. As you said, you like taking pictures and meeting them again, and it's really cool to see that.
Oh yeah, I go running. I run all over the place. I'm like, I don't just do my thing and leave. I'm like, do my thing and then I roam around and say hi to everybody and check everything out, because it is true truly history, and amazing history. And these people have worked so hard, and they deserve the respect and everything. And so I just am amazed, by everything I see at these things.
Yeah. And that brings me to another question when you talk about, they deserve respect and the things people have accomplished, Mick Foley's involved in the RAINN, like the child abuse charities right now, and you've obviously gone on to, movies and TV projects and that kind of thing. And I was speaking to Lanny Poffo recently, and, he was talking about how he's still got his health and he's, wealth intact. And I guess what brought that up was it seems like every time, the media focuses on wrestling, especially since the Mickey Rourke movie came out, The Wrestler, they can't wait to find real-life examples. There was an article recently about Ric's financial trouble, and then there was the big ESPN piece on Scott Hall. And do you ever get frustrated that they always seem to want to focus on, those kind of stories and, not the people that have got out the business like you and gone on to better things,
Well, I think, I hate to say it, but I think there's more of those stories than there are the other ones.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot in my years, and a lot of good people pass away from things, and, that I've worked with, and it breaks my heart, and my prayers go out right now to Barry Windham and hope that, everything is going to be okay with him. And
absolutely.
Things, they're too young to be having all these problems, and it's just, it's heartbreaking. And so, you do see a lot of that, because I think there's more of that. But I'm hoping, the future generation will come around and things will start to change. That's what I hope, that people will I truly believe in my heart, the more you give back, the more you get. And so the people that do tend to give back tend to seem to be more successful on their journeys and, survive a little longer. So I'm hoping everyone will kind of, go towards that way and take more in the sense of not just ego and working as, their sole purpose is to make it on top, but their sole purpose should also be to give back, and then they will reap the benefits from it, and their lives will be more enriched. So that's my philosophy.
That's a good philosophy, Fifi. That's good advice, and hopefully, more of the guys will take that on board, and we don't have to keep hearing these stories over and over. But you mentioned Barry, though. Have you been in contact at all? How's he doing?
Well, he's still, in the hospital, and I've just heard words from, Rick and stuff, and everyone's watching and waiting and seeing what's going on. But, we're all praying that he's going to be okay, and that, he'll come out of this and go on with his life and live a good life. So
absolutely,
he's holding his own right now, so everything, should be. We're praying for good.
Yep, absolutely. We are praying for Barry, and we send our best wishes to him. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, another quick question I had for you, and I guess this puts you in good company with guys like The Undertaker and The Ultimate Warrior, because they've faced accusations in the past that more than one guy has played those characters, and there was different people over the years. And is it true that people have claimed that there was more than one Fifi and more than one lady played that character?
Yeah, well, what happened was, because when I disappeared, when WCW was bought out by Vince, everything was kind of just locked away or whatever. Nobody really knew who Fifi was. It was like a mystery, because everything was just kind of locked away. And it was before the whole media blitz or the internet blitz, so it wasn't like things were put out there, back in the day. And so, when I discovered on the internet that they thought I was somebody else. First they said, she was a hairdresser, or I was Kim, or, all these different people, somebody that worked in the office. It's just all these different people they thought Fifi was. I went out and I corrected them. I think it was on one post, and I said, let me tell you who Fifi was. And I gave the name. Next thing you know, I get all these calls, and people wanted to verify and this and that, and it was all verified, and boom, now it's all corrected. It's out there. They know my name now. And I really felt like I had to do that, because I just thought, wait a minute, nobody will ever know who this person is, and they need to have, Fifi was an important part of that time period and that history, and she needs to be recognized.
Absolutely. And, and that shows firsthand at those conventions. There's always a huge line of people waiting to see you, and, I don't think you can either make it across the room or down a hallway without somebody stopping you for a picture or a childhood memory or something like that. So the fans didn't forget, and they love to see you with these things.
Yeah, and that's great. I mean, I just love it. I mean, I love to sit and talk with them and enjoy their enthusiasm, with everything. And I love the fans, love them. So I can't wait for LA to see everybody out there. It's going to be great.
That's right. It's counting down. Yeah. Okay. Well, I got to put you on the spot with this question. And because you're such a positive lady, I don't know if you'll answer this, but is there one pet peeve that wrestling fans do at these conventions? Is there one thing that maybe you wish they wouldn't, like a bad habit or something that bugs you? And hopefully, if they hear this in time for LA, they can stop doing it.
I know, hear this in time for LA. The one thing they do that is bad is if they don't come to my line and come say hi to me, that is bad. If you walk by me and I'm smiling and I say hi and you don't even say hi, that would be bad.
That is bad.
So I would love everybody to stop by and say hi, no matter what. So Fifi says, say hi.
There you go, folks. Fifi has made her demand. She's made her orders. You must say hi to Fifi. If you pass her table, you see her in the convention hall, you must say hello.
Absolutely.
That's it. All right, Fifi, and it looks like I wanted to just mention this. You have an appearance this Saturday night, November 5th. Is that right?
Yes, I do. I'm actually doing an empty stocking charity to raise some money for children in need for the holidays, and it's over in the Blue Ridge area. You can find the information on my page, FiFi from Wrestling, and the Georgia Speaker of the House will be there talking. So it's going to be a pretty good event. I think it's going to be a really good event, and I look forward to it because, like I said, I love to do charity things, and especially for children and everything. So I'm excited.
That's wonderful. That's going to be really rewarding. And I wish I was in the Georgia area. I'd love to check that out, but.
I know. Well, you'll have to get in the next time I'm around your area somewhere. You'll have to come on out.
Oh, I'll be there. I'll be waving my little signs and get my little feather duster in support.
That's right. And I'm bringing the feather duster to this event because I hear I'm going to need it.
Oh yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
That's going to be great, Fifi. So yeah, it's going to be November 5th at the I think it's the Toy Slam 2 in Blair Ridge, Georgia. I think Ricky Morton's going to be there with you as well.
Yes, he is. Yep.
Fantastic. So if you're in the area, go out and see Fifi. It's going to be for a good cause. And then, the clock is ticking to Wrestle Reunion in January. We're all going to be in LA, and we're looking forward to that one. And remember, if you see Fifi's table, stop by and say hello.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, Fifi, I really appreciate your time this evening. It's been wonderful speaking with you. And,
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. And I don't know if you've had a chance to check out the site at all, but, we really just focus on, the fans who've met some of the wrestling heroes in the past. And a lot of the names that we've mentioned tonight are on there. Ric's on there. And it's just always good to hear those different perspectives and those different experiences. And you're a big part of that now. So, I really appreciate that. And, taking the time this evening. And if you do get a chance to visit the site again, it's IMetAWrestler.com. Fifi, you're now part of IMetAWrestler history. This interview will be on there, and you'll take your rightful place next to Ric and Mick Foley and Bret Hart and all those other guys.
Yay! I'm excited. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, and we'll see you in LA in a couple of months.
Sounds great. Look forward to it.
Have a great night. Bye bye.
Thank you too. Bye.